Hello, everyone. Okay, so we are starting in 1 minute. I will invite all. I think that's working, right? Okay, so we have one more here. Hello, Jason. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so guys, I think we can start the webinar from here on. So thank you so much for joining today's CLO-SET Skill Up webinar for brands. And today we're going to talk about a great topic where like everyone can interest in, whoever is in working in 3D as well. So before we start, I would like to introduce myself first. So hello everyone. My name is Serena, and I am a CLO-SET Business Development Manager. And then we have another host, Jason. So I will pass on to Jason.
Hello. Yeah, I'm Jason, the CLO-SET Account Manager in the Hong Kong office. And nice to meet you all because I think it is our first time to meet each other. But I hope we will have more interaction in the latest session. So here we also have one more our teammates, which is Jane. Maybe I can also pass to Jane to introduce yourself.
Thank you, Jason. And hello, everyone. This is Jane. I am an operations manager here at CLO-SET. And today, thank you so much for all your time. And we hope you take a lot of helpful insights and information from this session. And in that spirit, I will be taking all of your questions on the chat. So please feel free to share any of your questions during the chat. And also, we have a Q&A session at the end with the speakers. So stay tuned.
Okay, thank you so much, Jane and Jason. So from here on, I will take the first host to operate the first part. So let me go on to the next slide. So today at this webinar, our main audience target would be for the brand who is working already in 3D, or whoever is the one who's looking for the way to looking for like a better way to communicate and collaborate in 3D. And today we're going to have three different parts. In the first part, I will be the host, and we'll talk about the basic overview of the CLO-SET value within the design development workflow, as well as some of the roadmap features that we have as well. And in part two, Jason will host you guys and also take you through the live demo where you can see how you actually can achieve those workflow that I presented in part one in CLO-SET. So in our last part, as Jane just mentioned, we're going to have a Q&A session, but a little bit different to our first webinar. In this webinar, we want to have more interactive Q&A session. So as you might see that we just sent out the first poll. So please answer those questions. And then from here on, we'll be sending a few more questions and polls as well. So please feel free to leave any comments in the chat and also answer the questions so that each host can take that insight as a reference during the session as well. Okay, so let's begin. Let's get started with the first topic. So to begin with, I want to talk a little bit about what we did in our volume one. So in volume one, what we learned is, first of all, we learned about the group structure. So we learned about CLO-SET specific hierarchical system, and we also learned about the best preset guideline for user type, such as brand, vendor, and academic. So along with that, what we did also to go over the permission system that we have. So as a lot of you might know that we have a very specific permission structure based on the role and responsibility. So we also like showed you what's admin and collaborator look like, and then how or what to share the permission along with based on the role and responsibility. And same as today, we also went through the live demo, showcasing the entire actual workflow and then how you can actually set up the structure and how you can share the permission in CLO-SET. So this was what we did in our Skill Up Volume 1. And whoever who hasn't seen this Skill Up session, the Volume 1 session yet, we will be sending this handout presentation in the end of webinar so that you can actually check this link out as well. So after this webinar, the actual goal is to provide a actual guidance of building the structure, building the actual workflow in this within the design development process in CLO-SET, as well as some of the resources on top of it. Okay, to start to talk about CLO-SET more in detail, I would like to play one video to everyone to kind of make you guys understand what is we are drawing as a big picture within our ecosystem that we're having in CLO Virtual Fashion, including CLO 3D, CLO-SET, and CLO-SET Connect. Okay, I think there was a no sound playing during the to some of the audience that is participating today. So I will make sure to share this video with the sound after our webinar so that everyone can check this video again. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so let's talk about the CLO-SET finally. So to introduce the CLO-SET, CLO-SET is a 3D creation workspace that maximizes the value of 3D assets to improve the communication and collaboration within the design and product development process with stakeholders and efficiently manages the data included in 3D assets. So this is the very brief version and also very brief theme of CLO-SET that we have right now. So to kind of achieve the main purpose that we are having, which is to maximize the value of the 3D assets within the product lifecycle, CLO-SET is developing and also enhancing the current features based on the product lifecycle. So as you can see, within the general workflow that a lot of apparel company has, we're developing a lot of features. And the main purpose, can you guys hear me? Okay, perfect. Okay, then I will go on. Thank you so much for answering. So based on this one, what we're specifically gonna go through is to talk about the design development process. Okay, so let's begin. So from here on, before we actually start, I want to ask you guys one question. So whoever is working for, the brand company or vendor company, I would like to ask is, do you think that your company or within your department, do you think the forecasting is really accurate? Please say yes or no in the comment, please. Okay, I can see a lot of yes and no as well. Okay, thank you so much. So I can see a lot of yes as well, which is great to hear. And that's also like another purpose and also another biggest challenge that we're having inside of CLO-SET right now, which is to provide a lot of different statistics to actually see the trend data and also analyze what you have been doing inside of your group. So what you can see is you will be able to see the most common, most popular colorway and tone within your group, as long as you manage a lot of asset inside of CLO-SET. Also, you will be able to see a top colorway and then top, different colors inside of your project as well. So the purpose of this is to provide you a better forecasting data. And what do I mean by forecasting is to kind of predict what you're gonna produce in your next season based on your past data and also the future data. For example, in last season we used a lot of yellow color, but then this season the main colorway would be the orange. So let's focus on that one. So and even here in scatter chart, you will be able to actually type and search your trend color and see where the position is. So we believe that this trend data comparison will give you a better style positioning and also the better forecasting as well. Okay, so let's start to talk about what we have already at now. So the entire concept design from the very high level, once that is pretty much completed, the next step will be to actually plan and create and build the line planning. So within the line planning, there will be a lot of different information such as quantity, basic marketplace, main colorway, retail intro data, stuff like that. And this is more for the merchandisers or sales department to actually create a placeholder. And the question is, are these data really connected to design 3D assets? I would say the answer is no. So to do that, what we provide is to have a line sheet features inside of CLO-SET so that all the placeholder and also the carryover data you might have, you can just simply bring into the line sheet and you'll be able to see with the different view mode so that all the data can be managed in 3D with the actual 3D items. Once the line sheet is ready, it's time to fill in more details inside of the placeholder. So I would say to start to fill out more details, the first step is to provide and to upload this 2D mood board or 2D hand sketch or different color chips and 2D tech pack, stuff like that. And what you can do is by uploading this 2D mood board in the CLO-SET webpage to start the entire project to begin with. So what's amazing about in CLO-SET is, first of all, we don't have any storage limits. So you can literally upload any type of file and also any type of amount of file as well. And also on top of that, we're providing a various file compatibility. So the CLO-SET is not just for the 3D asset management, but also for the standard file management as well. So a lot of users right now, to start the project, they can just simply upload a PNG file into the content page and start annotating like this and also commenting like this. So from here on, this doesn't consider as a page and this consider as a space. From here on, you can literally start the project and then start inviting people to have a communication. And we just sent out the one poll here, and the question was, what is the most important thing in the mood board? And I can see that the co-working in real time and creativity tools are very important, and also the component data is very important. So based on that, we were thinking, okay, to be able to create a mood board, people have to use either Illustrator, Miro board, and presentation. This gives you a great creativity tools, but then at the same time, does that really connect to the next step? I guess the answer is no. So to have all the users in one page to have those features in one place, we are also planning to develop the visual board, which the designer can be more creative, and at the same time, you can actually have a data connection into it. So what would be the user scenario by using this visual board to actually start the design? So this will be more of like using the to actually start using the visual board better and to start the 3D design better. The foundation will be to have a 3D asset, like better asset inside of your CLO-SET. So to use this, I actually mentioned about company library in our volume 1 skill up session last time. And to highlight once more, I will talk about and I will introduce what the company library is. So company library is the data archive where you can actually place in the company level, very high level, where everyone can actually share the items and then use the items from the very high level. So originally, to actually manage the data and then upload the content, the user has to go all the way to the workroom. That's where actual content is sharing and uploading. But to have this company library, it's amazing to share your standardized items, such as block pattern, block avatar, or even the standardized like Excel sheets that everyone needs to consider and then take you through before all the process is started. This place will be a great place to start. And what's amazing about this is since you can create multiple workrooms under the company library, you can literally divide the entire space with internal and external. So this gives you a great idea of having and owning the entire asset in one place, but then to have a different exchange internally and externally. So each space is divided, but then even in one space, there might be a different roles, right? The vendor might be the one who needs to actually work on it, but then you might need an admin or a manager who needs to kind of overview the entire flow. To give you that, you can also divide a different permission to each space so that you can manage the better asset in a better way. Okay, so I just explained about the visual board and company library. So let's see what will be the actual scenario. So user will be able to create a visual board by uploading their existing 3D contents as well as the images and stuff like things like that. And then based on this, user, whenever the designer is ready to create a 3D assets, they can go to the CLO-SET library, company library, and then start choosing their favorite items. So this space can be entirely displayed in CLO-3D by connecting your individual account. But then also at the same time, if individual designer needs to have a specific item ready, without downloading and uploading, they can just simply favorite those items and search for that in CLO. So in this case, there will be no more uploading and downloading. So originally there will be a lot of uploading process to the SharePoint and downloading it in my local PC. And to be able to share those items, you will be able to use the different channels for it. But then in this case, as long as you have an asset ready in CLO-SET, there will be a direct connection with CLO-3D. Okay, I was just explaining about the, okay, so let me check a little bit of chat. How is the connect in CLO like to be linked? Can you use CLO in tablet? So far, the CLO-3D is a software, so that is possible in laptop ready. But then CLO-SET, whenever you need to share this 3D asset, is totally possible through via tablet or mobile as well. Okay, so let me continue the explanation. So we started to upload the item and then see the items from CLO-SET and then start the creation in CLO-3D. And vice versa, whenever the item the asset is ready to submit it, what you can do is by clicking this button and then share the file directly via CLO-SET. So the good thing about this is there is an additional no uploading and downloading processes needed, but at the same time, you're not just uploading the item in CLO-SET, but you are updating the version. You can update the version on top of existing project that you have. So like I showed you, the first project was starting with the mood board. So you can literally update your version with this item on top of the mood board, so that everyone can see the entire history of the communication and also the file as well. Okay, so at this point, I would like to have a second question to you guys. So please type any application or website that you guys are communicating with this 3D assets. It could be Gmail, it could be SharePoint, it could be Messenger. So please leave a comment about any type of application or services that you're using to communicate to 3D assets. Miro, Micro Teams, Outlook. Oh, there is only CLO-SET. That's awesome. Okay. And whoever cannot really hear any audio, we will make sure to record this one and then share with you all via link, so you can check everything on the site. Okay, thank you so much for so many answers. So I can see there a Google Drive and Slack and Miro board and Teams. And except the one who answered as a CLO-SET, let's think about it. We're designing everything in 3D, and then 3D journey has been going amazing within the fashion industry, but you are communicating the 3D asset in 2D. Does that really make sense? I think it's very inefficient way to actually communicate in 3D by capturing all the images and making all the annotation by using the Photoshop. So we think that that's the most, I would say, inefficient way to communicate within the 3D. And that's why I think the biggest and strongest strength that CLO-SET has is communication and collaboration in 3D environment. So as long as you upload this 3D assets, what you can see is to actually you can rotate it and also zoom in, zoom out, and you can even see the inside of the garment. And by using some of the feature, you can explode every patterns. And this is something that Jason will actually show you more in detail in CLO-3D in live demo session in part 2. So what you can do is you can literally leave the annotation on top of the 2D with the different angles, in different size of the garment, as well as making a comment and also attaching all the reference items on top of it. So the great thing about this is everything will be in 3D environment, and as long as you have anything to attach, you can just simply attach as well. And then, as I just mentioned, this content page that we're talking about is not just a page, we consider as a space. So literally all the related people can just gather together, start communicating and collaborating in 3D environment. Okay, so, and we don't want to stop from there. We want to go a little further from there. So what we are actually focusing these days is to make more engagement, not just for the CLO users, but also for the non-CLO users. So for example, CLO user, CLO designer, since they can use the software, they already have the 3D environment ready in their laptop. So it's a little bit easier for them to communicate with each other. But when it comes to merchandiser, when it comes to sales department, it's really hard to communicate everything in 3D. And a lot of times, merchandiser needs to see the colorway, needs to change the colorway to see if there is good way or the good the good collection, or if it's a good fit for this market or not. So to be able to do that, we are having this configurator feature where everyone can simply change the color and texture and position of texture, and then see different way of render result as well. So this gives you a lot of opportunity, not for the CLO users, but also for the non-CLO users to engage within this design development process. Okay, so extend to that theme, I would like to also talk about this decision-making part. So I would say this decision-making doesn't come only here, but I would say the decision-making step happens every single step. And to have a multiple contents in one place, what do? You either capture it, make a range board, make range plan within the PDF and by using the Illustrator, or print out every single images and put it on the whiteboard, which is also what I just said in 2D. So to make it everything in 3D, what we have is the assortment room. So within the assortment room, you can literally see the 3D 360 degrees of a view of the items. If you have any result ready with a vector or render, you can literally see the entire result in one place, not just with the one contents, but with the multiple garments. And this will give you an amazing overview of the entire, contents as well as the colorway. And on top of it, if you have a great foundation in assortment room, you can also utilize the different features to kind of show, to kind of mix and match each items together, and then show what will be the perfect, the set items for this collection. So in this way, you also will have a amazing 3D data and environment to make a decision, and also as well as analyzing the data in 3D too. Okay, so far this was about the actual designers and whoever is working in 3D. And from here on, I would like to actually talk about the observer, like admin or manager who needs to kind of overview everything and evaluate things. So what's great about this is we have this work status in CLO-SET, so that you can literally make your own work status based on your workflow, so that each steps can be recorded as a work status. How can you use it? Whenever you have a different space of vendor, for example, vendor, there will be each space for each stakeholders, and based on this work status, you can evaluate the progress. For example, in space A, there is already 60% of items are rendering completed. But at the same time, in space B, there are only 40% of items are rendered completed. So this type of insight will give you a lot of insight and information to kind of evaluate the progress, and then to see how much you reduce the process and reduce the cost in the end. And to give you a better idea, what we are planning to do is to give you more statistic based on the activity. So not just the work status that I'm showing right now here, but also you will be able to see each space's activity data. So how much communication happened in this space, how much rendering has happened in here. And if you have a category ready, and whenever you select each category of the item, each time when you upload it, you also will be able to see, okay, this space, this season or this collection, we used a lot of denim items compared to the cotton items. So this will give you a lot of insight to actually forecast item better for the next collection, or evaluate your current collection as well. So this is related to what I explained in very beginning to talk about the forecasting. So as you can see, the data flow is actually starting from the planning to all the way to the decision making, but then this data can be all the way back to planning and make a cycle for your next collection as well. So let's summarize today's presentation. So in as is, there are a lot of data that are managing in 2D. For example, we're planning 2D data in Excel sheet, or we're watching the magazine and then crop the images and upload it into Board, or you upload 2D, like you upload the download and snapshot it and share it via, like email, SMS, or you do this takes really long time, and also print out 3D images to 2D to make the decision making. But then we believe that this is the future. Since you already started everything in 3D, it has to be communicated in 3D. It has to be managed in 3D. So as a result, the benefit of using CLO-SET would be you can utilize the data from end to end, and this will reduce the entire, like a lot of workload and even the amount of server that you're using to download, and also eventually the time and cost as well. It's because you literally streamline the entire communication channel and also the data history. So, and on top of that, you're even expanding the 3D potential area from design to production development, and as well as the market, go-to-market, etc., etc., etc. So we see that this will be the greatest benefit. And based on that, as a last page of our presentation, I would like to share our future roadmap. So our main focus these days in our team is to expand the 3D value to the non-CLO user as well by creating the range board, range plan, visual board, and also virtual showroom, line sheet, and so on, so that not just the designer, but the merchandiser or other expertise can utilize and communicate in 3D. And this is something that we want to deep dive in our volume 3, Scale Up volume 3. So whoever is interested in this topic, please make sure to register our volume 3 session as well. And by extending more users and usage, we are also would like to provide a analyzing data and utilizing data back to the user as well. And in the end, as you might know, our company has been over 10 years, but we have been already working on to create a metaverse. So as long as you create a 3D asset, not only to communicate, but also you'll be able to use this asset to the next reality, like a virtual reality, or we are also thinking of planning to apply the NFT system as well. So as long as you have an asset ready, you will have so much more potential in CLO-SET. Okay, so whoever have any questions about the CLO-SET, please feel free to send any inquiries or any question throughout this hellocloset.com. And thank you so much for the presentation. And we just sent out the last poll for the presentation. So please answer those questions so that we can also take it as a reference for the next webinar too. Okay, so from here on, as a next part, I would like to invite Jason to take over the part 2.
Thank you, Serena. And nice to meet you, all of you, because I also saw there are more people have joined our webinar. So maybe I should also, first of all, maybe Serena, you can go back to the stage first. And then, let me introduce myself again. I'm Jason. Bye-bye. So I'm Jason, the CLO-SET account manager in Hong Kong office. And it's my pleasure to meet you all in this webinar. So if you have any questions or something you like to let us know, it's also feel free to leave your message in the chat room. Because Serena and also Jane, our host, will also keep answering your questions because we saw there are lots of interaction there. But from now on, that is the second part. So for this session, I will going to show you how to utilize the CLO-SET feature step by step as a workflow and to use it in the design development stage. So before we start, I would also like to ask you guys, do you have any difficulties you have faced when you develop a new design? a new collection in your traditional way, because it's also good to know what's your difficulties. So I will try my best to cover it in our latest presentation. Yeah. And I also saw there are more answers related to the communication overloaded between emails or SMS or cloud. But I hope after this presentation, it will be more clear to see how the CLO-SET can be used to centralize the communication. Yeah, and I also saw the second high priority difficulties will be how to utilize the 3D data in the design planning. So I will also cover it in the latest presentation. So yeah, maybe let us start it first. So let me share my screen, and also let me know if you cannot see my demonstration, and then leave your questions in the chat room. Okay, so let us start it. So first of all, as the beginning of the design project, we can log into the CLO-SET account and to access the workroom we have created. And for the setup of the hierarchy structure, it's good to go back to the last Scale Up workshop, and we have also the other demonstration for that part. But here we go. It is the workroom we have created for the fall to winter 2023. In this new project, you can see the merchandiser has already shared the concept of the collection, such as the style we have to create it. And we should have a look on the line sheet first to get more insights of the project. Okay, so the line sheet is used to overview the contents of the collection. It lists out all the items which are shared by the merchandiser, such as the carryover style and also the placeholder style. You can preview each content by the turntable thumbnail, and the information can be found underneath, such as the material. By reviewing this line sheet, we might have a better understanding of the collection. For example, we might add a denim shirt within the collection, as to complete it to become a more good collection. So let's go back to the workroom. Then we can initiate a new design by uploading a new mood board to CLO-SET. Let's click the upload on the left-hand corner. So in CLO-SET, as Serena mentioned, the uploaded file can be in different formats, such as JPG, PDF, AI, etc. And all the CLO default formats will also be supported, such as ZPRJ. As there is no limitation on the storage, we can also select either to upload single or multiple files at one time. Then we can click Next and select the file from our desktop. And as mentioned, CLO-SET is developing more features to manage the production cycle all in one place. One of the upcoming features will be the Feature Boards tool for us to create the mood board with the existing data in 3D. So when this new feature has any updates, we'll also update you guys. And for now, just go back to our demonstration first and see the next step. Okay, the mood board is uploaded. You can see the thumbnail. So we can click on it and fill the content page. Here we go. This is the mood board we have prepared. And we will use the following color palettes on the denim shirt. So we can use the annotation tool to highlight the color palette in the board. We can draw a frame to highlight the color palette and also write down the requirement next to it. Done. So by using the annotation tool, we have spotted the color palette, and we will use this tool again in the later step. But for now, we can also use the comments tool to leave a message underneath. we can tag our 3D designer within the message as to inform them that the style is ready and he should start to create it in CLO. Done. So on the 3D designer side, they will receive the notification in their CLO-SET account under the bell icon on the top. And they will also receive an email notification in their mailbox. So here comes to the time for the designer to start creating this in CLO. So let's go to the company library to prepare the 3D asset. So company library is a cloud platform that helps brands to store, source, manage, and share all the essential digital contents, such as the virtual fabric, trim, modular, etc. Those 3D assets can be ready-made or accumulate from the previous season. For example, this is the search board which has been used in the last season. The designer can preview these contents by the turntable thumbnail and reuse it on the denim search now. So they will mark it as favorite first. Then it's also important to get our fabric. So let's go to another folder to take our fabric. Again, we'll mark it as favorite. So once the assets are selected, the designer can start to work in CLO. They can connect their CLO-SET account to CLO by using the tab under CLO library. So they can connect their account here. Then the user can access to different groups and select different contents in CLO, such as the fabric inside company library. As Serena mentioned, it is an updated version of features of CLO 7.0. Okay, as the selected 3D assets has been marked as favorite, so it will be listed in the favorite content. We can simply click on it and use it directly in CLO and start our sampling. So let us just speed it up, and let's say the design sample has been completed. As the next step, we can start to upload it back to CLO-SET seamlessly by clicking the Share Project on the right-hand side. Then this page will be popped up, and there are different options. On the top, user can choose the group where we upload the file. For example, the designer is going to upload this design to the demos group. Okay, then the user can also select whether to notify the collaborator when the file is uploaded. They can also number the files automatically, followed by the file name, user ID, dates, and numbers. Then they can go to the middle section. We can select the workroom to store our new contents. But if the desired location was not listed below, we can browse it by clicking More on the right-hand side. The tree diagram of the CLO-SET group will be shown. For example, we can search for the company A, brand A, 2023, top. But we can also upload it to the workroom we opened recently. But for this time, we would like to save it on top of the existing report. So we will close the tree diagram and choose the other option, Upgrade an existing content, and select the report. So by this workflow, we can seamlessly connect CLO and CLO-SET together and to shorten the leading time. So now the first sample has been uploaded in CLO-SET. And as it is saved on the top of the report, it is listed as the second version of the content on the left-hand side. So later on, when we have the next version, such as the second sample, it will also upgrade it here. the setting is beneficial for us to manage all versions in the same place. And now the 3D designer can go to the upper section, Style, and label the current workflow as colorway adoption. It is a workflow management tool which will be further explained in the latest part. But same as the previous step, the 3D designer can leave a message on the comments as to inform us that the first sample is completed. Okay, then again, we might receive the notification in our CLO-SET account, and we can click on this notification to access the content page. So here we go. Let us start to refill the sample. First of all, the middle interface is the 3D window. Same as the navigation of closed software, we can zoom, rotate, and pan the sample in 3 dimensions. Then, on the left-hand corner, there is the toolbar. It is used to display specific components of the files, such as the avatar, and also the garment. We can also change the display method of the garment texture via garment rendering style, including monochrome, translucent, mesh, and random color display. By switching those display methods, it can help us to understand the garment construction. For example, we can deconstruct the garment by turning on the exploded fill. It is especially useful when the garment is constructed with several layers. All the hidden components, such as the wet pocket, will also be exploded. Okay. Another useful display would be the schematic render. It will display the garment in a technical drawing style so that we can easier to distinguish the garment construction. Apart from the above tools, we can also use the 3D tag pack to investigate the garment details. In the first tab, pattern, it will show all patterns have been used on the sample. We can click on each item and to check its placement on the 3D garment, and the item will be highlighted in the 3D environment. We can also check the 2D pattern by the 3D tag pack. Then next to the pattern tab, it will be fabric and trim. Again, the used material will be listed within the 3D tag pack, so we can click on each item to check its position and also the quantity and the details. So it is the 3D tag pack. Lastly, if the style has different colorways, we can check it by clicking the colorway thumbnail at the bottom. Or we can also click the tab on the right-hand side to fill all colorways. Okay. By using the above tool, we might have a comprehensive understanding of our design construction. Then it's time to share our comments via CLO-SET. So firstly, we should add a logo under the pocket. We may zoom into the front panel first and click Create Annotation on the right-hand side. An annotation tool can be used to write down our comments on specific area of the 3D window. First of all, same as before, we can write down the requirement next to the pocket. Then we can use the second tool to paste the logo image next to the requirement. We can also create lines or polygons by the tools underneath, such as the line tools and the rectangle tools. And the thickness, color can also be adjusted. Last but not least, we can also edit the annotation by the Select tool. Then it is completed. Done. The annotation has been marked on the sample. Then, by using the same tool, we can do the communication fully take place in the 3D environment, as Serena mentioned. For example, I want to leave my next comment next to the sleeve cuff. Okay, once the annotation is complete, it will be pointed out in the 3D window. We can click on each number and to check each annotation. We can also check all annotation by the tab on the right-hand side. And also, for the vendors, they can also export this annotation in a PDF form for their reference. Good. So after the annotation, actually, as Serena mentioned, CLO-SET is also capable of design engagement by the configurator function. Let's say we wanted to test out another colorway and texture on the current style. We can first go to the tab, Color. In this tab, user can pick up a color in the gradient box or use the color with the specific code, such as RGB. When a color is picked, user can use the Find button at the bottom to search the similar Pantone color. Then, apart from the Find button, CLO-SET also provides the Pantone and colorable color library. You can search the specific color by using the code such as TCX. And also, the configurator includes all the color libraries which is commonly used in the apparel industry. Then, once the color is confirmed, we can go to the next tab, Texture. We can attach another texture image on the current design. Okay, the texture has been changed. So inside the configurator, there are different options. First of all, we can desaturate the texture by the option underneath. The user can also adjust the position and scale by inserting the measurement. The same as CLO, we can also adjust the texture directly in the 3D window. Okay, so lastly, we can go to the third tab, Property. User can change the parameter of the texture, such as opacity, roughness, etc. So it is completed. Then this new colorway has been included at the bottom and the colorway tab on the right-hand side. So by the colorway configurator features, even for the non-CLO users, they can discover the possibility of the design in real time. And in the meantime, we can go to the attachment and to attach the logo, texture for the designer reference. And as a remark, this attachment tag, we can also connect with the OneDrive. So you can streamline the communication and data history since everything can take place in the 3D environment. So finally, we have completed the first sample review. So it's time to inform our 3D designer again. Same as the last step, we may continue to use the comments as the communication platform. Then the 3D designer will reply to our message in the comment and also the annotation to kick off the second sample. So instead of SMS or email, all the communication can be centralized in the one channel. Then they can download it directly in CLO and do the same step. The above design procedure will be repeated till the design is confirmed. Then let's say the design is finalized. We can go to the last procedure, design adoption. First of all the versions will be recorded at the left-hand corner. We can click on each version and to refill it in the 3D environment. Okay, then we can go to the upper part. Again, we can change the status as design complete. And also to fill in the sample information by the hidden option below. We can set the category of the sample based on their custom categorization. It can be found in the group setting. We can also fill in the tag and description if needed. Done. Then we can also render the sample in CLO-SET directly as to refill the design in a photorealistic way. Similar to the CLO rendering, CLO-SET has different rendering settings at the right-hand side. On the top, we can choose whether to render all colorways or not, and also the amount of the render image. If the user targets to render the sample in 4 angles, we can also choose turntable image and the image count as 4. Okay. At the lower part, we can choose the image size, the background, and the render quality. Then we can start to render it. Okay. As the render surface of CLO and CLO-SET is different, so you can continue to use CLO when the cloud rendering is proceeded simultaneously. So done. And it is the completed render image in 4 angles. Then let's go back to the workroom. Okay, in the workroom, we can also sort out the style by using the Elasticsearch engine. For example, we can filter the search by the category that we set. In the meantime, we can also filter out the style by its work status as a workflow management tool of the collection. Then, let's say the whole collection is fully completed. It is ready for the final review with the whole team. So we can go back to the upper level and to assess the assortment. So Assortment is a room for reviewing and making decisions of multiple styles at once. It is useful for presentation and design selection. The designer can first add the style in the assortment and refill it by the thumbnail. Meanwhile, user can use the mix and match features to test out different combinations of the outfit. So we can make good use of this assortment function in decision making. Okay, so by the end of the design development stage, as Serena mentioned, we are also going to develop more features to utilize the data end-to-end, such as the trend data analysis for the next season's collection. But here comes to the end of the design development. We will continue to introduce the parts of decision making and production in the next Skill Up workshop. So thank you all of you to listening to the live demonstration, and I hope you will enjoy the presentation. Besides, I see there are lots of questions already in the chat room. So actually, we also have the last session, the Q&A session, to answer all of your questions. So let me invite Serena again to come back to the stage, and feel free to share your questions in the chat room continuously. In the meantime, you can also, I hope we also have another pool for you guys, and we would like to know which part is useful for you in the demonstration. So please help us to finish the pool. So hello, Serena.
Oh, hello guys. I've been answering your questions, but thank you so much for a lot of questions. And please, like, I would say sorry if I missed anything. But then during answering those questions, I can see that there are a lot of questions about the tech pack. So I think it might be better to show you guys what it looks like before we actually dive in and explain more about it in our next webinar. So let me share once more my screen. So this is the web page that we like me and then Jason and I actually introduced today. So to be able to show you, I've been actually reproducing some of it here. So let me refresh it once again. So I was answering some of the question about like if you can even upload the images in the annotation and as well as the comment. And yes, you can upload any images on the annotation as well as the comment as well. And also the tech pack feature that I wanted to show you is this one. So whenever you click this is the web tech pack page that we're having. And if you don't want the interactive web tech pack, you can also download the Excel tech pack by clicking here as well. But then this is one of the new projects that we are working on, which can be more interactive and then see a lot of different data. So in the first overview, you can see the different thumbnail of image to the images of the items. And also you can simply add the schedule of any shipping or any very brief schedule on top of it. And in the next one, it's a BOM. So I can see that there were a lot of questions about the bill of materials. And another thing about CLO-SET is since we already have all the 3D metadata inside of the asset, we can automatically generate and bring those data from CLO-3D to CLO-SET. So these data are already inputted when we were making the design in CLO-3D. So as long as you have the data ready, and you can automatically see these data in CLO-SET. So you can see the cost of a graphic, buttonette, buttonhole, and you can also filter by color and size by size, so that if there is any other material that is more expensive than others, you can also see the differences over here. And the next one is construction. So I think we have also like a vendor as an audience today, and this tab will be a great tab to communicate with vendors. For example, in the construction page, what we are doing is we are generating auto marking the pattern. So you can see there are numbering on the same pattern, so that you can see what the pattern looks like and what will be the Quatermass, and then what number of each pattern. So depending on, you can directly talk to make a comments on top of here. So this tab will be amazing to communicate with vendor side. And then the next one is a French language. Yes, we are planning to translate many different languages as we go along. So please, make sure to stay tuned later on. And this one, okay, this one is not the one that I wanted to show you. So let me find another one. Okay, so we also do have a measurement chart as well ready. And let me show you the measurement chart as well. So the reason why you don't see the measurement chart in this page is because you don't have any inputted data from CLO-3D. So still, the CLO-SET is a platform to review the items and also communicate the items. So this is not the tool where you can actually apply the changes or change the pattern data or the measurement data directly. So still, that is something that what you need to do in CLO-3D. So that's why we, instead of having those functionality, we have a seamless connection with CLO-3D. So this one has the measurement data. So as you can see, based on the actual 3D viewer next to it, you can see the measurement data directly here. So you can either have a schematic render mode, or you can also see the direct 3D viewer as well. So whenever you click the items, for example, this one, you will be able to see the highlighted part here. For example, this one is highlighted. When you click it, you can see which part is where, so that you have more. You will have more interactive communication with other people, and also another thing is that to be able to see the measurement chart, it used to be always in 2D, but then now you have a 2D mode and 3D mode as well, so that whenever you want to see only the 2D mode, you can see the pattern along with the measurement, but then you also have a 3D measurement options, so that you can see how the pattern looks like in the 3D environment. And whenever you have any target measurement that you want to change, you can simply input it in the target measurement chart like this, and then you can communicate as in the next tab, where you can tag people and then tell them what kind of like the chart or target measurement that I changed on this part. And the next tab is a cost estimation. So once everything is ready, you will be able to see the entire cost for each garment, as well as the labor cost too. You can also simply input the labor cost, so that you can see what will be the estimated cost for the per contents. So this will help you briefly kind of estimate the amount of the financial budget that you have based on this one. So this is something that I wanted to show you to cover a lot of questions related to the tech pack. And also, what else I have? And I also see a lot of questions about the permission system that you have in CLO-SET as well. And that is something that I highly recommend you to take the webinar volume 1. We also explain a lot of what's the permission system like, what's each role has, so that whenever you have ready to share, you can just simply write down the actual person's email and then select this one. And whoever has a little bit of hesitations to pay the subscription, what you can do is utilizing this can view features. So let's say there was a question like that. I'm a freelancer, I want to show and communicate with other people. But to be able to do that, I have to invite them as a collaborator all the time as a paying users? No. So if you just need to share this item to be able to have a simple communication or to be able to show this item, you can just simply select the can view mode and then give them an optional feature where the viewer can either download the items or the uploaded items. So once you provide this feature and share it, this person will be able to see the entire content page, this page, as well as uploading their own project file in here. So this will be very easy to go through. And then whoever wants to share this 3D file to the completely external like vendor who doesn't even have any understanding about the closet, what you can do is to utilize this embed viewer. So when you click this, you will have this embed viewer link. So what you can do is you can just simply share this link here. I think it's until this one, I see. And then you can also share it through the URL, not just the iframe. But then when you copy this, what you can do is just simply share the URL to other people. And then when they go and click this link, they will be able to just see the 3D viewer. This is totally possible in mobile or the tablet page. So whenever you have a multiple colorways, they will be able to see different colorways. And if you have an avatar ready, they will be able to see the avatar, turn on and off the avatar. So this way, you also will be able to share the 3D assets more freely to other people to showcase your result of your 3D items as well. Okay, and any other questions that I should cover? Jason, you can also answer some of the questions if you have.
Yeah. Actually, I also wanted to show a little bit more related to the tab pad because actually for the Serena side, she showed one of the tab pad. But if you are more in a production related, so that it also can generate another kinds of tab pad, we call it as the Excel tab pad. So let me share my screen as well.
Yeah, just to let you know, guys, we just shared the Skill Up workshop volume 1.
Yeah.
And the page that you can click here.
Yeah, I saw some of you guys also have clicked. Yeah, so you can have a look on the following one, but just go back to the tab pack questions. That's just to add on. So if you wanted to bring all those data of your CLO files to the production side, actually you can use CLO-SET to generate that kind of tab pack that include all those details related to construction. For example, the garment the graphic placement, the measurement, and again the POM in different graded size, and also the colorways, and also, for example, the marker. All those things will also listed here, so that you can see there are different ways to export those data in CLO-SET. Maybe one of it is more related to the merchandiser side, or the design side, so that would be the web tab pack. But if there's more manufacturer side, and you can also use this Excel tab pack. Yeah. So I hope this one also can answer some of your questions. Yeah. But in the meantime, let me see if there's other questions. Yeah. So yeah, as well as if you have more questions, actually feel free to let us know via the hello@closet.com. That is our email address for inquiries. Yeah.
Yeah, and when Jason was explaining, we just updated the handout and also the survey as well. And I forgot to mention this, but the people, whoever is answering these questions and surveying, well, we would like to select 10 people and then provide a 30 days of trial for free. So please make sure to participate in the survey and submit it. In the handout, please also download the handout for more informations as well.
Yeah, and in the meantime, actually, we saw a lot of message is related to do CLO-SET have these features? Are we going to upgrade it? No worries. Actually, we are collecting all those feature requests. Yeah, even though we are busy to answer your questions. Yeah, so everyone available to us. So those feature requests.
Yes, and I can see the last question about copy and duplicating a folder structure. So far, we only have a copy and duplicating the contents, but we actually have been discussing about this feature as well. So I think we're under evaluating if there's any issues if we copy or duplicate the entire folder at the same time. So we will also, I hope to update this new this inquiry when that is ready.
Yeah.
Thank you for the inquiry, though. Okay, so I guess it's 5 minutes, a little over than what we planned. So I guess maybe it's time to wrap it up, guys. Okay, so anything Jason wanna say or explain? No more?
Oh, yeah. So see you guys on the next Scale Up workshop. We'll also continue the last stage of production, and also you are also curious the tap pack, and we will also explain it in the next workshop.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating for 1 hour. I hope you guys have a great day today.
Yeah. So thank you so much, and see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.